Hello?
Hi, Andrea. Is that you as caller one on the phone line? Okay, very good. We are just waiting for everyone to arrive at this point in time.
Can you still hear me? This is Andrea.
Mary, I didn't hear you. Can anybody else hear Mary? It's just me.
I can hear Mary.
I can hear Andrea, and you can't hear me, Heather?
I can hear you, Mary.
I can hear everybody. That's Mary talked, Andrea talked. I think I can hear Michelle. I can hear you all.
You didn't say if you could hear me, Josh.
I can hear you loud and clear, Karen. Tell us a joke, Karen.
Okay, hold on.
He said, do I use my HP? That one? I can't hear that.
The bottom.
So, Heather, we can hear you.
Is your volume on?
Yeah.
She can't hear us. We may need to send her that in a chat that we can hear her.
Did you click off one of this?
Let's see.
Can somebody say, Mary, can you say something? I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
I can't.
Okay, Josh, are you ready?
Go for it.
Why do melons have weddings? Have I told this one before? Okay, why do melons have weddings?
I know it. I haven't heard it, but I figured it out.
What'd you figure out?
Because they can't elope.
Very good. You get a gold star today. You're very smart.
I thought watermelon and cantaloupe, those are like the only two melons I could think of. It's like cantaloupe. It's got to be that.
I'm impressed.
Heather just messaged in the chat that she cannot hear anyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to tell her to do.
I'd maybe just log off and try logging back on.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want tech support?
Well, I can't, they can hear me. I can't hear anything they're saying.
Yeah, do you want me to get in there real quick?
Sure.
We'll see if Heather can get her computer fixed here.
So, Mary, do we have affirmative responses for participation from everyone, or are we going to be missing a few people?
I will check with Ann on that.
I show everyone should be here except for board member Jason Kenley and Council President Brian Beggs. And Commissioner Al French is unknown. He did not respond.
He is actually on, so he is here.
I can confirm that I'm here.
But Brianna and Dr. Kinley are the two that are not going to be here. Okay, then I think we have everyone else. We'll see if Heather has her. Heather, can you hear us?
Yeah, so I'm dialed in on my phone. I'll just keep my mute here so we don't get feedback, and we'll go with it this way. I'll figure it out later.
Sounds good. Then I'm going to, if we want to start recording. Make sure. I don't see where it says we are not. I am going to call to order the August 4th, 2021 special meeting of the Spokane Regional Health District Board. It is 2:35, and I am going to have Ann take roll call.
Mayor Kevin Freeman.
Present.
French.
Here.
Commissioner Josh Kearns.
Here.
Councilmember Karen Stratton.
Here.
Councilmember Betsy Wilkerson.
Present.
Councilmember Tim Hattenberg.
Here.
Mayor Ben Wick.
Here.
Board Member Andrea Frostad. I show her as caller 1.
I do too. It usually takes her a minute to be able to unmute.
Here.
Perfect.
Sorry, didn't unmute.
Okay, and then,
And we do have a quorum.
okay. And then caller 2 is identified as Heather Yakeley. Correct. Since she's calling in on her phone. Okay. So with this special meeting, our intention is to go into executive session for 30 minutes, and I will let Michelle state for the record.
Thank you. The board will be entering into executive session for 30 minutes pursuant to RCW 4230.1101I for litigation/potential litigation. Present for the executive session will be the board members, Michelle Foss and myself as general counsel, and Heather Yakeley as defense counsel.
Okay. And there is the possibility of action being taken once we come out of executive session. So we just want to let the public know that. And so at this point, then we will go into executive session for 30 minutes. It is 2:38. By the time we leave this and go into the next one, I think it'll take us a couple of minutes. So I'm going to officially say the executive session will start at 2:40. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
We can clock at 2:40 for executive session. Okay, 30 minutes. If it's any longer than that, then Michelle, I'll have you let Ann know so Ann can extend the executive session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Board of Health Chair has requested an extension of the executive session by an additional 10 minutes. The session will end at 3:21. chair has requested an extension of the executive session by an additional 10 minutes. The session will end at 3:33. Board of Health Chair has requested an extension of the executive session by an additional 10 minutes. The session will end at 3:43. Board of Health Chair has requested an extension of the executive session by an additional 10 minutes. The session will end at 3:53. Health Chair has requested an extension of the executive session by an additional 5 minutes. The session will end at 3:58.
Going to make sure we get everybody back into our meeting before we start it up. Okay, I'm going to check if caller 3 is Andrea.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I think then that is everybody who is back. So it is 3:58 on my computer. We are back from executive session. We were joined by Council President Brian Biggs halfway through I think maybe 15 minutes into our executive session. You were there for most of it.
302.
It was about 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
There we go.
302.
3:02 was when we were joined by Council President Brian Biggs. Thank you. So with that, we are now out, and I will look to my fellow board members.
Chair, I would make a motion that that the board direct the chair to prepare a statement by the board addressing the emails and the emails contained within and the article prepared by the inlander.
And is that by the chair of the executive committee?
And the executive committee.
Thank you.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Council President Biggs.
Yeah, so I would ask that when that letter's drafted, it not include me or attribute me to that statement. I've already testified on the record what I witnessed in terms of my communications directly after the meeting with Amelia Clark and Bob Lutz, and shortly a couple days later with Mayor Wick. And my sense is that the testimony that I've already provided is probably going to be contradictory to the letter, and I don't want to get in the way of the board doing it, but I don't want to send inconsistent messages for the testimony that I've already given. So that's my request. And I'll probably be voting no, just to make that clear, but I wanted to explain to people why I'm voting no. It's not that I'm trying to get in the way of the board making their statement.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or discussion? Okay, at this point, I think I'm just going to do a voice count, so I'm not going to do a roll call count. All those in favor of supporting the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so,
Abstentions, Chair.
and any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, so opposed and abstention. So Betsy, if you're abstaining from the vote, since you're part of executive committee, then I'm assuming that you will not be part of writing the letter?
I will not. And my position is the only board meeting I have ever missed on the health district. I was not a part of or party to all that happened. So everything I have gotten has been through all these other conversations. And so that's why I am abstaining from the vote.
Okay. Very good. I just want to be clear as to who since you're on the executive committee and it was part of the motion, that you will be abstaining from the letter, writing the letter. Thank you. And so just so everyone's clear who's on the executive committee, then that is Mayor Freeman as the finance chair, Mayor Wick as the past chair, myself, and Councilwoman Wilkerson as the policy committee chair, who will be abstaining from the letter or statement. Thank you.
So I have a quick question for the City of Spokane contingent. Since neither one of Mr. Beggs or Ms. Wilkerson will be participating, do you wish to have or nominate anyone, your third person to participate in that?
I would
the city wish a representative?
I would certainly be supportive of asking Councilmember Karen Stratton to serve in my stead on the executive committee if she's willing to do that.
And I support that as well.
Is there any other comments to that, or is everyone okay with Karen Stratton then helping assist in the statement? Okay. And then I am going to just be clear that the vote did occur because this is board action, that this statement will be coming out from the board. So even though there was the abstention and the opposition, that the majority of the board voted, and so this will be coming out from the Board of Health. So I just want to be clear on that matter. Okay, so then, is there any other action to be taken? Commissioner French.
Madam Chair? Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. We have all, I think, received emails from various employees, and there's obviously been articles written with regard to our administrative officer. And I would like to ask the board to consider, not today, but at a date in the future, coming out with a statement that acknowledges that we've received letters and have given them due consideration, but in my opinion, continue to support our administrative officer and the job that she's doing. I've been on this board for 19 years. I've seen administrative officers. I've seen health officers. I've seen this board and the organization have a variety of challenges under past leadership that current leadership is doing a yeoman's job in correcting. And I've never, during that period of time, had more confidence in the administrative officer than I do with Amelia Clark. But I do think that we've reached the point to where the board, it would be, I think, appropriate for the board to make a statement with regard to, not only why we hired Amelia Clark, the organization needed to change, and she's executing on those elements, and that we work to make sure that the community will get a health district that is the best in the state and is operating in a very fiscally responsible and an appropriate manner for the community. So I would like to just put that before the board so that we can squash any of the other rumors that might be surfacing about Amelia Clark's future with the organization. As far as I'm concerned, she's doing a yeoman's job, and I appreciate her professionalism and the changes that she's bringing to the organization. So just want to put that statement on the record. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, and who did the second? I'm sorry, I thought you were trying. Is that Andrea or Karen? Karen, thank you. Okay, so Commissioner French, I might need to go back and listen to your motion because I just want to be clear as to the statement is from the board. Who is drafting that statement?
I assumed that it'd be the executive committee that would draft it, then be reviewed by the board members, and then formal adoption at a later date. But I just wanted to get that process started. So
Very good. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Council President Beggs?
Yeah, I'm going to be voting no on this. Not so much that I oppose it, but I don't support it at this time, and for a few reasons. And it's obviously a very challenging situation. We have an executive director who's working very hard, and the board has asked her to do change work, which is very hard. I run 3 different organizations where I was asked to do change work as well, so as I understand. But I'm going to kind of just talk some process about this. In my other life, I'm an employment attorney. And the big challenge that we haven't done, and there's been plenty of reasons of COVID and all these things, is that by our policies, we should have performed a performance review right now. And that's really for the protection of the administrator as much as anyone else. And we know we're going to do a performance review. But if we pass a letter like this right now without actually having done the work and the review, if our review shows up something else, it not only sends the employee a very confusing information and the public very confusing information, but it really hurts us legally if we want to take any corrective action. And so I think it's great for individual board members to express their support for what they like that the administrator is doing. But before we do something formal, that really has a lot of extra meaning and ramifications. And I just think we should delay that until we do the review process. It's there. I think it's under our bylaws, it's the vice chair convenes that process. And I'm sure that all the opinions are there that we have. The process will show the truth of what's going on, and we can stand on that. So I think we should wait. The other thing I want to say is there's a review process, which is neutral and irregardless of any complaints that people make right now. But there have been complaints raised recently, and I think some people are conflating the complaint process with the review process. The complaint process should not be infecting the review process. The review process should just be straight up, here's the job performance, here's the metrics, really without a lot of regard to specific complaints. We don't have a well-developed complaint process for administrator or health officer. We do for other employees. And I think at our earliest convenience, we should figure out that process so that we don't just get bombarded with letters to the board. And the people who do have legitimate complaints know that there is an objective process. I just had to do one at city council. Somebody had made a complaint against a city council member. I didn't think it was the strongest thing in the world, and I hated to kind of drag that person through it, but we hired an outside person to figure it out, and we got an answer at the end. And I just think we're missing that in our organizational infrastructure. And I'm hoping our lawyer can help us develop a process so that when people just lob letters at us, whether well-intentioned and supported or not, that there's actually an objective process that protects the public and protects the person who's getting the complaint against them and gives guidance to the board. So I understand the impulse of it. I'm going to be voting no on it, but again, not wanting to get in the way of the rest of the board and doing what they most want to do. I think we all love the health district and the community we serve, and we're doing our best to advance the cause of robust public health. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilwoman Wilkerson.
I heard Commissioner Alfred's motion. I just got concerned when he started speaking about all Amelia's traits, which are probably all true. I haven't known her that long, but I don't want this letter to have a predetermined outcome to it. If we're going to review what has come in, then we can't say we're going to review it and then have already put the outcome in the letter. So that's my only challenge. So I'd be open to a friendly amendment of something of that regards, but we can't have it both ways.
Mary Wick.
Yeah. Sorry. I need to step out. I'm so sorry. I need to get to another meeting, so I'm going to sign off. I just didn't want anybody to think I accidentally dropped off. My apologies for interrupting.
Thank you.
I heard Commissioner French's proposal or the motion on the floor today is more of a clarifying of why or what we're looking for in our administrative officer and some of the challenges that we knew we're going to be facing as an organization. And so I think that's a story that needs to be told as to some of the direction that we've asked our administrative officer for doing. And so I think I would definitely support that and trying to get that out of the community, because we've asked for a lot from our organization and trying to make the health district a healthier place. And that's the path that we're on. And so I just wanted to kind of clarify some of that as our direction.
Commissioner French?
Yeah, and in my motion, I did recognize the fact that we have had emails and letters that have raised issues, and I fully expect that the board will address those as we develop whatever kind of response that we want to develop. So that was included as part of the package. So it's not to ignore that input, it's to review that input, consider that as part of our overall goal in trying to make the health district a stronger organization.
Are there any other comments or discussion? So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so any abstentions? Seeing none, then only one opposition and the rest are all in favor. The motion passes. And I will say, as the chair of the board at this point in time, we will work diligently to get the first motion and statement out quickly. And then the second one may take us a little bit longer. So I will not be able to commit to exactly when that will be. As we know, our next scheduled board meeting is not until the end of September. I don't have the date in front of me. But I do hope to have that out much sooner than that. So thank you all very much for joining us today. I appreciate that. It is now 4:16 and I will seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting, our special meeting of August 4th for the Spokane Regional Health District. Thank you all very much for attending, and we will be in touch soon, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thanks.